Welcome to Simply Stylish DIY, where we take ordinary to extraordinary. Hey y'all, welcome back to Simply Stylish DIY. Today we will be making some really cute home decor pieces using Dollar Tree arrows. DIY number 1, Dollar Tree arrow church decor. For this DIY, you'll need one of these little wood decor houses from Dollar Tree, also one of the small arrows from Dollar Tree, a square piece of wood that you can get in any craft store, black and white chalk paint, some brushes, a ultrafine tip Sharpie, and some distresser and sponge brush. I just loved how this DIY turns out. I think you'll be surprised at the end at just how pretty it is. This is just a classic black and white DIY. I did use some greenery at the end for a pop of color. We're going to use this wood square. I think I picked it up at Joann. You can use anything as your background. You could just use a canvas if you choose to do that from Dollar Tree. I just had this in my stash and I thought it was really pretty. And I also wanted to do it like a 3D effect, and this worked out really well for the look I was going for. Just make sure that you use what you like, and that way you can make it your own unique creation. I want to take this white chalk paint and paint the inside of my sign because I wanted to use the black and white theme. I love those classic colors together, and the front of the little house I'm going to use to make a church is black and white gingham, so I thought this would be a really pretty way to make this to tie those colors in. Next, I'm going to take this black chalk paint and a sponge brush and paint the entire outside of my frame, making sure I get the edges and the tops all covered good. Next, I'm going to take a small brush and paint the inside edge there where it got some white on it, just to make sure it has good coverage. I'm going to use this wood arrow from Dollar Tree as the steeple to my church, so I'm going to remove that piece of twine, and then we're going to paint this with the same white chalk paint, and then we'll be distressing it and adding some dimension to this later. Make sure you have a good coat on the arrow and get the edges painted too. After you have that set aside to dry, take the little house, and I'm going to take my sponge brush that has the paint still on it and paint that little roof edge. Making sure that you paint the top of the roof and also the sides. After that first coat dried on the arrow, I'm going to take this bouncer here and dip it into the chalk paint and just bounce it on it and give it a little bit more texture. After those pieces dry, I'm going to take this black soot distress oxide. I picked this up at Hobby Lobby, and just go around the edges of the top of the roof of the church, just to give it some character and a little bit of distressed antique look. Next, I'm going to take my ultrafine tipped white Sharpie and just write there on the center heart, "Blessings to you." I'm going to go around the perimeter of the heart and just make some little stitches with the Sharpie, and then go at the top and make 2 little hearts. Another quick idea here, if you could make this for a wedding gift and put the couple's name inside the heart, that would be an adorable gift to give to. You could personalize this heart with anything that you wanted to for a gift, or you could also add a Bible verse. I'm going to take my distress oxide in the black and go with my brush and put some in the inside of the sign on that white, just to give it some distress so it matches the top of the church. Next, I want to line everything up to make sure it's all going to fit the way I want it to. I want it to pop out of the frame, kind of like it's a 3D effect. So I'm going to layer the arrow behind it to be the steeple. See how far I want to have it up over the frame, and then put the house on it. Once I have it in the correct position, I'm going to add the hot glue on the high places and also on the back of the roof of the house, so it can press down on the arrow and everything be adhered together. Next, I'm going to raise the edges up of the arrow that we made the steeple and put underneath a little bit of glue just to hold it more securely. I picked up these pieces of picket fence at Hobby Lobby. You can get a long section. I think it was like 3 feet for almost $2. I've used these in a couple of DIYs and I love how they turn out each time. So I'm going to measure off how much it would take to put there in front of the church. Once I have that figured out, I'm going to take my wire cutters and snip that wire. And then I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and twist that wire back so it's not sharp, and press it down on those end pieces. And then we're going to put some glue on a couple of the ends and glue that onto the frame in the front. Once you have that glued down and it's adhered, I'm going to take some of this Spanish moss and just cut off a little snipping of it and tuck it in beside the church behind the picket fence. And then we're going to put some little green sprigs coming up out of that for just a pop of color and a little bit of a farmhouse feel. Once I have that all tucked in there, I'm going to see if I need any more, and I'm going to add just a couple more little sprigs so it's kind of peeking up out of there. You can take some hairspray and spray that down so all the little pieces do not come loose on you. And then next we're going to take, I just had these little pieces of boxwood greenery in my stash that I'd used in a previous video. I had these extra. You can get this at Walmart. Dollar Tree also has some really cute greenery. Just pick one that you like, open it up, and tuck that in there just for a little pop of color, and see how much you want to put. It kind of looks like a little bush or a tree beside the church. Next, I'm going to take some of the black chalk paint and a little thin brush and make a cross on the top of the steeple. After I get the cross the way I want it to look, I'm going to take the Distress Oxide and go around the edges of the steeple to match the top of the church roof. I also took the Distress Oxide and went on the inside of the steeple a little bit, and also on the picket fence at the bottom, just to tie everything in together. Okay, here's our finished product. I think this one turned out so pretty. I actually think this is one of my favorite ones I've made lately, just because of the way it turned out and the colors together and that really pretty farmhouse look. You could change out the colors of this. If you didn't like the black and white gingham, you could pull that off and use a piece of scrapbook paper in the colors that you like and paint the frame any way that you want it to look, and make this your own unique creation. Continuing along with our Dollar Tree arrow theme, we're going to do DIY number 2, Dollar Tree houses made with arrows. For this DIY, you'll need 3 of the Dollar Tree arrows. You'll also need some Mod Podge, one of the wood block lettered signs from Dollar Tree. Also, you'll need 3 pieces of different colored scrap paper, one of these small little wreaths, some sponge brushes, and a pencil. Okay, I found this sign here that says Love Lives Here. I thought this would be really pretty because I wanted to use the arrows to make a house themed. I thought this would be kind of cute to sit with the church with the arrows and have almost like a little tiny display. So I'm going to use this scrap paper. I got this in a book from Joanne, and we're going to put this all together, and I think you're going to love how it turns out at the end. I'm going to start this by removing all the little pieces of twine tags that are on the arrows. Just take all those off because we're going to be covering those holes up anyhow with our scrapbook paper. We're just going to get them ready to do that now. I picked up a pack of these little wood planks at Walmart. I think there's like 12 in a bag. They're, I don't know, $4 or $5. I thought these would be good to add to DIYs where I need an extra piece of wood for something. And that comes in really handy here. I wanted to add that to the bottom because I want everything to be positioned correctly at the end. So I'm going to take that and add that to the middle arrow that we're going to make for the middle house. I know that Dollar Tree has different size arrows, but the taller one is a whole lot more narrow, and I needed the wideness of the middle arrow, so I thought this would be a perfect place to add that little plank of wood at the bottom of this middle one. I'm just playing with the arrows here to see how I want them to lay. Once I figure that out, I'm going to flip over the plank and the middle arrow and take 2 popsicle sticks, glue those together just to hold them so they don't move, because we're going to put scrapbook paper over the front. I chose these 3 colors of scrapbook paper. I thought they looked pretty together. I wanted to use this floral one in the middle and then pull out the 2 colors to do on the side houses. So I'm going to lay it over, flip it over onto the back, and then we're going to take a pencil and outline it so we can cut it out. Once I have the outline, I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut to the inside of the line. I don't want it to be an exact fit over the arrows because I want to be able to put some distressor on the edges and let a little bit of the wood show. So I'm going to take my scissors here and cut to the inside just to make sure it's a little bit smaller. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other 2 arrows, and I'm going to trace those and cut those out to the inside. Next, I'm going to take my Mod Podge and put a nice thin coat over the wood. This unfinished wood soaks in pretty quickly, so make sure that you have it covered but not in excess. Once you have that nice coat on there, go ahead and lay your first piece of scrapbook paper that you cut out over top of that. Make sure that you take your fingers and press out as many little bubbles as you have, or if you have one of those little rubber tools to press out the bubbles, that would be great to use here, a little squeegee. And once you get that done, just go ahead and take your Mod Podge and put a nice thin coat over that. I did that just because I wanted to have that gloss effect. You can use matte here, or you don't even have to put Mod Podge at all. It doesn't have to be sealed if you do not want it to be. Repeat those steps for the other 2 arrows too. I just cut a little square at the bottom. It doesn't have to match up because it's going to be blocked with our sign. I just wanted the colors to pop through in the cutouts of the letters. Once I have all those Mod Podged and they are dry, I'm going to start putting this together. I'm going to overlap the edges and put them at the bottom of that little piece that I added on, because I want everything to match up and be positioned correctly. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the edges there and put that on the bottom part. This is totally up to you where you want to position these. If you want them to look higher or lower, go ahead and put them where you want them. I just thought this is the design that I wanted to have. I'm going to take my Distress Oxide at this point and go around the edges of all the houses. I love how this makes it have a lot more charm and dimension. I know I should have probably put it underneath my Mod Podge, and I meant to do that but forgot. So I'm going to do it here in this step. Probably if you make this and you want to do that, just do it before you Mod Podge it, but it doesn't really matter in the end because it doesn't rub off. It adheres quickly and it looks really pretty. Once I have all the edges done, I'm just going to take my brush and go in the middle of the houses just to give them that rustic look. Before I glue this little sign on too, I'm going to do the same thing, just going around the edges of it with the distressor, and I'm also going to run over the front little sign and also those little beads at the bottom. Next, I'm going to position this at the bottom so the everything matches up, so the back sign arrow and the 2 arrows in the front and the big sign in the front all come to the bottom together. That way, if you want to set this up on a shelf, it won't tip over. It all matches up. Or if you want to put a hanger on the back, you can do that and hang it. Either way works great. Next, I'm going to take a piece of twine. I'm going to double it here because I want to make a little double bow. I'm going to make 3 of these. I'm going to just fold it over, cut a piece off, and then I'm going to just make sure that I have them in equal lengths. I'm going to just tie a bow just like you tie your shoes, And once you have that, I'm just going to go ahead and snip that little loop there since I made it in double. And I'm going to leave those little tails long because I'm going to put that on a little wreath in the middle. I'm going to repeat this and make 2 more bows just like this. You can pick up this little wreath at any craft store. I think I got this one for about 34 cents. I'm going to put some hot glue on the back. I'm going to take it and put it on the center house in the middle. I don't want it to be right into the roof, just there in the middle. Then I'm going to take the little bow with the longer tails and glue that on top of the wreath. Next, I'm going to take those other 2 little bows that we made just to tie everything in together and put a little dab of glue in the center and glue those on. Okay, here's our finished product. I hope you enjoyed this DIY. You can change out the color of the scrapbook paper and get different words from Dollar Tree and make this your own unique creation. As always, thanks for crafting along with me today. I hope you enjoyed these different ways that we can use Dollar Tree arrows to make these fun crafts. If you did, please like and subscribe so you won't miss out on any upcoming crafty content. Also, leave me a comment down below to say hi and let me know which one of today's DIYs was your favorite. Until next time, happy crafting! I enjoyed our time together. Thanks for watching. I linked another video here for more crafting inspiration. Be sure to check it out. Have a great day!